Cosimo I was born in Florence into a powerful branch of the Medici family. Was raised from childhood with a sense of duty and military discipline. After the assassination of Duke Alessandro de Medici in 1537, he was declared ruler of Tuscany, marking a new era for the state. Cosimo I became known as a talented strategist and patron of the arts. He reformed governance, strengthened the army, and greatly expanded Tuscan territories, including Siena. He was called the architect of Great Tuscany. Under his reign, Florence flourished. Palaces rose, Renaissance culture revived, and trade expanded. They say he personally took part in discussions on architectural projects and even influenced the design of new buildings. After his death, Cosimo left the state stronger and more united than ever before, becoming a symbol not only of power, but also of refined taste. Caterina Sforza was born into a noble Milanese family tied to the powerful Sforza dynasty. Raised at court, she learned diplomacy and the art of rule from an early age. Married young, her life soon became entangled in plots, losses, and power struggles that forged her strength and determination. Katarina was called the Lioness of Romania. She ruled her lands with a firm hand and never hesitated to challenge her enemies. It was said she had a heart strong enough to fight an entire army. After captivity and loss, she turned to alchemy, medicine, and raising her children. Her presumed portrait from the Folk Museum in Italy reflects the strength, femininity, and proud independence of a ruler whose name still inspires. Sybille of Cleves was born into the noble German dynasty of the Dukes of Cleves. Her childhood was shaped by court intrigues and marriage negotiations, where every smile had its price. In her youth, she married John Frederick of Saxony, a union that made her a significant figure at court. Sybille showed resilience during the Schmalkaldic War, defending her family's interests and the Protestant faith. It was said she had a mind sharp as a blade and a heart full of resolve. She supported charity, scholars, and the arts, staying behind her husband, yet shaping key decisions. Her image remains in portraits as a symbol of loyalty, patience, and the quiet strength of women of her time. Joanna of Austria was born into the illustrious House of Habsburg, where politics and faith were inseparable. From an early age, she learned diplomacy and piety, absorbing the atmosphere of the imperial court. Her childhood unfolded between Toledo and Valladolid, where her destiny as a link between Spain and Austria was shaped. As regent of Spain, Joanna displayed strength and keen intellect while governing during her brother Philip II's absence. Contemporaries said her heart held steel beneath velvet. She supported monasteries, patronized the arts, and remained a symbol of female wisdom on the throne. Her name is linked with efforts to reconcile religious conflicts and preserve the unity of the empire. Avdotya Ivanovna Golitsyna was born into a noble Russian family whose roots went back centuries. With a sharp mind and strong character, she quickly became one of the most prominent women of her time, involved in court life and political intrigues. Known for her independence and strength, Golitsyna patronized the arts and engaged in charity. Her salons became gathering places for the most educated minds of the era. They said her word carried weight even at court. Despite a stern character, she was respected for her honesty and her ability to influence destinies. Until her last days, she remained a symbol of feminine strength, inner resilience, and loyalty to her ideals. Charles Talbot was born in London into an aristocratic family, losing his parents early. Was raised at court, where from youth he showed skill in navigating political storms. He received an excellent education and entered high politics. Talbot became famous as a statesman, diplomat, and a man who remained true to his beliefs even in dangerous times. They called him a minister without fear or reproach, who combined calmness with resolve. He supported the Glorious Revolution, declined many honors for the sake of the country's peace, and in the end withdrew from politics seeking tranquility. His story is an example of nobility, prudence, and the willingness to sacrifice personal gain for the common good. Andreas Vesalius was born in Brussels into a noble family of physicians and apothecaries. Was fascinated by anatomy and natural sciences from an early age. He studied in Leuven, Paris, and Padua, where he began performing bold dissections that challenged ancient doctrines. Vesalius became the author of the famous work on the fabric of the human body, which transformed the understanding of anatomy and laid the foundation of modern medicine. He was called the Anatomist, who reclaimed truth from error. He risked his career and life to defend knowledge based on observation rather than ancient authority. His legacy still inspires scholars and physicians to search for truth in the details. John Donne was born into a Catholic family in England during times of religious persecution. He studied at Oxford and Cambridge, but did not take a degree because of his faith. His youth was filled with doubt and spiritual searching, later reflected in his poetry. Dunn entered history as a master of metaphysical poetry, blending passion, religion, and philosophy. His works are rich in paradox and bold imagery, and his sermons inspired thousands. He wrote that no man is an island. After personal tragedies and spiritual crisis, Dunn became Dean of St. Paul's Cathedral, staying true to ideals and the power of words. His poems still touch readers' hearts, and his personality remains a mystery for historians. They say that in his final years, he reflected not only on the divine, but on the fleeting nature of fame itself, finding in it new lines for his verse.